Bitcoin is digital power. It's 350 exahash. That equates approximately to $20 billion worth of computer equipment that has been purchased that's running on the network, something like 10 to 20, probably 20 billion of capital investment on the compute side. And then you can value the energy, at various levels, right? If it's 5 cents a kilowatt hour, you're getting to $6 billion a year. At 10 cents a kilowatt hour, you're getting to $10 billion a year of electricity. That's what it takes to run the network now. But that's not what it takes to attack the network. If I'm a nation state and I wanted to block every message or intercept every message on the network for the next 6 hours, I need to win the next 60 blocks. And if I'm going to win the next 60 blocks, statistically, that means I need 98% of the hash rate. And that means I need to bring online 50x to 100x, right? If I want 99%, I need to bring on 3,500 exahash of computer power.
Completely impossible.
The problem with that is if I hijacked all of the Google, Amazon, and Microsoft computer power, I could maybe bring on 5 exahash. Because of the silicon ratchet, because that ASIC is 2,000 times more efficient than commodity compute. So commodity compute power is at the bottom of an energy well. It's like I built a wall that's 2,000 feet high, and your node you rented from Amazon is 1 foot, a 1 foot step. You need to now get 2,000x higher than that. And so just like the logic of creating a literal wall, I'm creating a wall of encrypted energy, and you're not going to be able to use 3 things that every nation state has. Nation states have commodity money. They can print $100 billion of money, some of them, not all of them, some of them.
Yeah.
They have commodity electricity. 1/3 of the electricity is wasted, or energy is wasted, right? They could divert that entire dam, which is 20 gigawatts, or divert gigawatts. They've got commodity electricity and commodity energy, and they've got commodity compute. All the iPhones in the world, all of the AWS nodes in the world, commodity compute. But a truly secure system isn't based on commodity money. That's why proof of stake doesn't work, Robert, because I can buy $20 billion of your token by printing commodity money. And so if you're secured by $10 billion of your token and it trades, I can come up with another 10 billion, 100 billion of commodity money. Especially I can print it for a few hours or a day.
Yeah.
Right?
This is the space and time security layer you talked about in our prior episodes, right?
So commodity money can't be used to attack a proof of work network like Bitcoin, but it can be used to attack a proof of stake network. It can also be used to attack a centralized network, any kind of proprietary network. You just coerce, bribe, incentivize the result you want. Commodity energy can't be used to attack the network either because it has to be modulated through the ASIC miners. You would need 2,000 times as much energy. That's all the energy on Earth. Doesn't work. You need 3 Earths. If you had enough compute power, and you don't, but if you did, if you had infinite money to rent infinite AWS CPU nodes, then you need 3.5 Earths. But you're not getting that. And of course, finally, commodity compute power, don't have enough of it on Earth. You take it all, it's not enough. So the only way to attack the network is to actually play the same game over long periods of time. You have to actually create Bitcoin ASICs that are progressively more efficient.
Which is to cooperate.
That's an arms race. And it's an arms race that takes you a decade. If you want to spend a decade and billions of dollars in order to try to enter, you can. You won't sneak in. Yeah. It won't be cheap. It won't be stealthy. There's no cheat code. You can't repurpose anything else. It's just like when I have a nuclear weapon, you can't repurpose a yacht or a bow and arrow or a machine gun to pretend it's a nuclear weapon, right? There's only one way to play the game. You have to commit to that and delivering that. And you either do or you don't, and we'll probably know because it's hard to keep that secret.
Yeah, and even getting into the game, you're incentivized to play by the rules of the game, right? It's actually in your best interest to mine the Bitcoin rather than try to attack the network. I'm struck here by this.
No private actor can afford to subsidize it. So any private or corporate actor has to mine Bitcoin and support the network. If you're a hostile nation state and you wanted to attack Bitcoin, I guess in theory you could print tens of billions of dollars in order to develop miners, in order to create mining centers to attack Bitcoin. But we would be basically debating that on Twitter for 4 to 8 years. Right. And then at some point, someone might decide to adopt the SHA 512 protocol, brick all of the ASICs and migrate, right?
Yeah.
But you have many, many years to figure that out. It's like the enemy will be at the gates for a decade. And sometime between year 2 and year 8, we will have decided what to do. But of course, what government do you know that would want to spend a decade, failing to attack something? It's much more likely that you'll just flip everybody in that government to support Bitcoin by the time they finish that.
Right.
And they'll just come on board, right? Because the truth is, take the United States. The United States had, $4 billion of Bitcoin? Like, how much Bitcoin? They had 50,000? People say they've got more Bitcoin than MicroStrategy. Let's say that the United States has $10 billion of Bitcoin. They could sell it for $10 billion. Any intelligent bureaucrat, if they just wanted to make another $20 billion risk-free for the United States of America, all they'd have to do is draft a 1-paragraph press release saying, we have it, and we've decided we're going to keep it.
We're going to hodl.
That's all you would have to do. Yeah. And you would go from having $10 billion of Bitcoin to having $30 billion of Bitcoin. 1-paragraph press release, and you make $20 billion risk-free. And any bureaucrat that thought, well, I just like to have $100 billion for the taxpayers, they would simply buy another few $1 billion. Then they would put out that 2-paragraph press release. We're keeping what we have, and from time to time, we're going to buy more, like last week. And then you would have $100 billion.